I'll make sure they're working properly. I'm gonna close my door. I'm gonna turn my master switch. My amber lights, I will look outside my crossover mirrors. I'll make sure that my caution lights are working properly. When I open the door, I'm gonna make sure that my stop lights come on, my arm and my stop signs all come on. When I close my door, I'll make sure that my stop arm comes in, my stops go in, and my lights go off. I turn off the master switch. When I rock my steering wheel back and forth, I make sure there's no more than 2 inches or 10 degrees of play before my front wheels start to engage. I'm gonna check my horn. I want to make sure that it's working properly. Now I'm gonna move on to my parking brake. I'm gonna make sure that my parking brake is on. I'm gonna put it to drive. Accelerate. Brakes are holding. Gonna put in reverse. Accelerate. My brakes are holding. Now I'm gonna move on to my service brake. The proper way to do the service brake is to hold your foot in the brake pedal, pull in your parking brake, put into drive, and the bus should close at 5 miles per hour before coming to a stop. But because my rear wheels are chopped, my bus is not gonna move. I'm gonna put my foot on the brake, push in my parking brake, put into drive. My bus is not gonna move. Put it in reverse. My bus shouldn't move. Put it back to neutral. Pull my parking brake. Now we're gonna move on to my air brakes. The proper way to do the air brakes is I will ask you to time me. My rear wheels are chopped. My air pressure is at 120 psi. I will push it. I will turn off my bus, put it into the on position, put in my parking brake, hold my brake pedal for 1 minute. Make sure in that 1 minute I don't lose more than 3 psi. I'm gonna look at my gauges. I'm gonna check that I don't lose 3 psi in that 1 minute. Once the minute is over, I'm gonna fan my brakes. Once the air pressure drops to 60 psi, a warning light, a warning buzzer will come on. I will continue to fan my brakes until it falls to 20 or 40 psi, and my brakes pop. I will turn my vehicle, and my vehicle should start filling air until normal range at 120. So I'm gonna let you know that my rear wheels are chopped. My air pressure is at 120 psi. I'm gonna ask you if you can time me, please. I'm gonna turn on my bus, put it into the on position, push my brake, hold my foot on the brake pedal. Make sure in that 1 minute I don't lose more than 3 psi.
Time.
I'm gonna start to fan my brake. Once it falls to 60 psi, my warning light and warning buzzer came on. I'm gonna continue to fan my brakes until 20 and 40 psi, and my parking brake should pop. Okay, my brakes have popped. I'm gonna start my bus. Right now my air pressure is gonna start to build up until it passes 60 psi. Above 60 psi, the warning light and warning buzzer will go off. It will continue to rise until normal range at 120 psi. The air pressure went above 60 psi. The warning light and warning buzzer went off. It will continue to go up, continue to rise until 120 psi, the normal range.
That's the proper way of doing a parking brake test, a service brake test, and an air brake test. Just remember, on the air brake test, you always want to tell the instructor everything you're doing every step of the way. You want to let them know that the rear wheels are chalk, the air pressure gauge is reading 120 psi. You turn the vehicle off, you turn the key to the on position, push the parking brake in, and hold the service brake down. Hold it down for 1 minute. Make sure you don't lose no more than 3 pounds of pressure in 1 minute. Once that minute is up, you fan the brake. As you fan the brake, the air pressure drops down. It drops down to 60 psi. You should get a warning light and a warning signal. Continue to fan the brake until the parking brake pop out between 20 and 40 psi. At that point, that indicates that your air brakes are working. Now you start that vehicle back up, allow the air pressure to build back up. Once it builds up above 60 psi, that warning light and warning buzzer should go off. Continue to build your air pressure back up to the normal operating range, which is between 100 and 120 psi. Thanks for watching. I hope this air brake exam helped you out.